Hey guys, how's it going? So lately, a lot of geese have been flying over, and my mom and I have this little tradition. Maybe you did this as kids. Hopefully, you keep it up now. But we always say, especially to the first flock that we see flying over, "See you, boys. Safe travels." We too, Mom and I, we fly south in fall time. Sometimes this coincides with my birthday, which it did this year. 26, ouch. Getting up to that big 3-0, which does not sit well with me. But we fly south. We go down to London town for a little vacation, just a few days. And we get our little hotel room in the Holiday Inn, and we try and live like Londoners. That is to say, we avoid the usual tourist traps and whatever, which we've already done 1,000 times, and just stop into our old haunts, the old cafes that we know. We go to the Serpentine, and we meet the geese who have flown south. We say hi to them. And generally speaking, we make our little hotel room a home. Well, we just did that, and a couple weeks ago, and it was different this time for some reason. Maybe because we couldn't do it last year because of lockdown and whatever. It felt different being away from home. But it occurred to me while we were there that it was in our capacity to really make a home. My mom's been a professional homemaker for most of her married life. It is the hardest job in the world. I have no doubt about that. To make a home is to do something wonderful for someone, especially for your kids. And I have been particularly fortunate to have a wonderful one. And while we were away, we didn't eat out or anything, but we got our little salads. We returned to our little room, and we watched Married at First Sight Australia. And it was great, you know? There was no obligation to make the most of our time or go haywire filling it up with fancy restaurants or fancy attractions or anything. We just did what we wanted to do. A long time ago, back when I was a kid, in my neighborhood, a thing fell out of a tree during a storm. It was a bird's nest. But it wasn't made up of usual bird's nest accoutrements of straw or hay or whatever. It was made up of wire, chicken wire. Whatever this bird could scrounge up, it had made a home out of. Well, it was long abandoned and it thunked down in a storm, and people thought it looked like kind of art, so in the local little gallery, they have it on display. This little wire bird's nest. And that's what occurred to me when we were down in London. The capacity to make a home, even when you're traveling, even when you're flying south. And what I wanted to focus on for today's video is that theme of homemaking, to connect with your root chakra and connect with those energies that will better allow you to make a home. So let's get started. So we'll just start off by grounding you. you to take a deep breath in for the earth, your homelands, the places with which you feel familiar. Feeling around you the genius loci, the spirits of places that you know very well. And while you're doing this, imagine you are growing roots down through the building, through your home, or maybe not your home. Maybe you're far away from home, but maybe you're growing roots just down into the earth, down to the world tree which is home to us all. And another deep breath in for the skies, home to our celestial spirits. There is a home awaiting, in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Will the circle be unbroken by and by? By and by. One of my favorite folk songs. And another deep breath in. For the seas, home to all life, home to all things, from which all things come, and from which all things, I believe, shall return. Growing those roots down, feeling the energies of the earth, meeting the energies of the sky, meeting the energies of the sea in the center of your being. Now for the progress of this healing, I want you to imagine that you're laid out before me, just on a bed, and I've got your feet right here, because we want to work on your root chakra. And it's easier to do that rather than the groin region with your feet. But before that, I want you to hold out your palms. I'm going to give you some stones to hold. First is the spotted obsidian. Give you that there. Black and white, like a Dalmatian, and it's going to connect you with the earth and with your higher spiritual power, the root chakra, and your very tip-top crown chakra, and of course our red jasper. For your root chakra, just grounding you down there. And I'm going to put into you Sei Hei Ki. Sei Hei Ki right in your root chakra, directing it up into the soles of your feet, powered by chakra. 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 Feeling that directed into your root chakra, which is all your domestic concerns, your capacities for homemaking. Very good. I'm just going to take your feet here. I'm going to feel around, and in Swiss reflex, so Victoria Sprigg informs me in my little ASMR detours. The sides of the feet correspond to the spine. So we're down here at the sacral, moving up and up into the thoracic, giving a small massage on your feet. Sei Hei Ki. chakra. Feeling the energies of the jasper and the spotted obsidian grounding you, bringing to your awareness what it is to make a home. Because it's better not to be the snail, because you won't get very far lugging around this familiar thing on your back. Better be like the birds, capable of fashioning a home out of whatever it is that surrounds you, trusting in yourself, in the makeup of your soul, to get what you want and what you need, whatever your circumstances may be. Now I wanted to do a little Celtic Reiki reading for you. Unfortunately, I don't have a fancy card deck to draw stuff. I've only got like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards. I haven't invested in anything schmancy yet. So what I'm going to do is give you a free OM reading for your root chakra. And we're going to tap here. Tap, tap, tap. Right. So, what we have here is the OM symbol for Gort, that is the ivy. Which says to me, Gort, we'll put that into you, Gort, that in your home life you have quite a lot of entanglements. Ivy is a very hardy plant. It grows very quickly and depends on other plants. And while beautiful, it can sap these other plants, it can hinder them. It can really knot you up inside. So what it says to me is you need to untangle things in your home life. You need to get acquainted with the root and cut it. Gort. Gort. Just cut the root and let the host plant thrive. And moving on to your second reading. Second card, which is now, I don't know how to pronounce this. Yveltal. Or is that a Pokemon? Nigatal. Which says here is the broom, but I always know it as the reed. So I'll give you the both. The broom, of course, is one of the first plants to inhabit a wasteland. It is a primary successor. Is that what they call it in ecology or biology or whatever? It is one of the first that will crop up after a land has been stripped bare. So what that says to me is that you need to strip bare your domestic landscape. You need to cut back all that ivy, and you need to let grow the broom. But I know it is the reed. And reeds say to me, music. Little wooden stems that whistle in the wind. You need to adopt what is precious, what sings to you in your soul, and use this to decorate your home landscape. And your final reading I see. The Ur. The heather. Particularly renowned in my home of Scotland. It is the flower, the plant of Venus, of love, of fertility, of abundance. And I believe that if you adopt these practices, that if you really feel that if you really cut back the eye, that if you get out of these entanglements, that if you seed the sows of what you know to be your home and to relish in them, then you can better love the circumstances that you find yourself in now, even if you're very far from home. Feeling that in you now. You're the heather. Well, friends, I think we'll close you up now with a raku. 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 Blowing that into you, raku. 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 I'm not a very good traveler, to be honest with you. I am a home bird. But this little trip that I took with my mom really proved to me that you can make a home anywhere. That it is where the heart is, as they say. All you have to do is look around you, accept your circumstances for what they are, and fashion them through the lens of your soul into a home. And who knows, maybe you'll invite folks in. Won't you come over for tea with the missus and me, as Randy Newman says. What a pleasant way to spend a day in Dayton, Ohio, on a lazy Sunday morning in 1903. And I want you to read you something. It's a very well-known poem. By Mary Oliver. Perhaps one of the most well-known poems of the 20th century. But it means a lot to me. It's not obscure. It's not esoteric. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Thank you for joining me, friends. Enjoy your homemaking, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.